Good evening and welcome to Let's Travel Caribbean for this week. Coming up, this week in Tourism Spotlight, we take a closer look at the Jamaica Hotel and Tourism Association with President Clifton Reeder. First of all, tell me, what exactly is the JHTA and how long has it been in existence?
Well, the JHTA stands for Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association. And we've been around now for 60 years. In fact, we will be having our 60th year of celebrations coming October.
Tell me, what exactly is the mandate of the JHTA?
The mandate of the JHTA is to lobby for the interest of our members. Whether government, we always look to get incentives for the sector. We try to work as best as possible to make sure that we are in balance with the environment. Source of food is also very important. We always try to make sure that we know where our food is coming from, be it the farmers in St. Elizabeth, St. Mary, Port Antonio, Clarendon, wherever, just to make sure that we're getting the best quality and, of course, in the right quantities for our guests and staff to enjoy. We look also at resort management in that we operate as hotels, but the association also makes sure that we sit on key boards. Like I sit on the Tourism Enhancement Fund to make sure that the monies that are being collected and spent within tourism areas, that they enhance the towns, not only for the tourists, but for the locals as well. Because take, for instance, we have a project, a beach restoration project, and we're looking at about 27 beaches. I think we have completed about 10 of them already to make them first-class beaches that our locals will enjoy, and by extension, our tourists. Because we have always been accused of taking some of the best beaches for hotels, and then the locals would be left disenfranchised. But not anymore. We are working on that very extensive project, which, will benefit everybody.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the association acts as a lobby group for the members, right? To ensure that they have all the conditions necessary to operate, but they also act as an oversight body to ensure that regulations are being followed.
Oh, definitely, because before, people believed that the JHTA was always for the owners of properties, but we take care of every single person who works in the hotel industry. Basically, the line employees, we make sure that hotels coming in, especially foreign investors, that they are au fait with local rules and regulations, and that people are treated fairly once these investors come into Jamaica.
I'm glad you touched on that, because that is exactly where I wanted to go next. Who exactly can be a member of the JHTA?
Well, we are a diverse organization. Again, at the onset, people believe it's just hotels, but anyone associated with tourism. In fact, a definition the other day that I am looking into is that once you earn up to 25% of your income from tourism, then you can be classified as a tourism entity. So we have, of course, all the hotels, attractions, craft vendors. We have tour organizations, whether members of JUTA, JCAL, and we have some individual businesses who have become members as well. Some of them purveyors that they have an association with us and they are members also. So that when we speak of the hotel industry, we have everybody from suppliers of goods and services to the suppliers of rooms to our visitors and to locals. If you are becoming a member, especially if you're in the accommodation sector, attraction sector, you have to have a Jamaica Tourist Board license.
So that's the stipulation.
That's the stipulation, correct.
Tell us about some of the achievements of the JHTA, most certainly the recent ones that you can think of.
Over the years, we've had several presidents, in their own right, they will tell you some of the things that they've negotiated, from taxes specific to the hotel sector, incentives, and of course, we are part of environmental lobby groups, and we've basically been working with various groups to ensure that we protect Jamaica in its natural form. And of course, we work with the security companies and of course with the security forces to make sure that Jamaica is a safe place to visit. In recent times, you would have seen all the efforts made during COVID. I just want to say that this is the first time in my nearly 40 years of working in the hotel industry that I've seen everyone coming together to solve a single problem, from government agencies, private organizations, to make sure that we came back from the closure to know that we are in recovery mode. And I must say, it does look like a sustained one, but it took a lot of effort and lobbying from the JHTA, working with government and sometimes really pushing government to do various things, and working with the private sector to make sure that we kept people employed and we attract visitors back to Jamaica. In fact, Jamaica is one of the fastest recovering nations in the world when it comes to tourism. It's something that, again, we have to give kudos to the JHTA and all the members who really worked very hard to achieve this success that we are enjoying now.
Great. That takes me to the final question that I wanted to ask in terms of what's the biggest agenda item for you now as it relates to fueling the continued recovery of the sector?
Well, in terms of recovery, we are about equaling where we were in 2019 in terms of occupancies. But as you know, during the pandemic, several of our best employees got other jobs. They are into private investment, some of them migrated, and we are now at a point in Jamaica where we are seeing the lowest unemployment rate of about 3%. And to me, that's almost 2% of that is structural unemployment, or the unemployable in certain ways. But it's a challenge, and a big one, to move ahead with getting quality workers, or workers that you can actually train. At one stage, I know that we were basically just stealing from each other, but I think the training institution, HART and Carol Rose Brown, has been working very hard through the Ministry of Tourism to make sure that, in fact, over the pandemic, her organization retrained about 20,000 people to come into the industry and to work with us. And they continue to graduate school leavers and others. But the other day I was just speaking with a couple of friends. We realized that Jamaica really does not have a labor shortage situation, but what we need to do is to change some of our labor laws or adjust them so that we can do more flexible work arrangements. And flexibility not only in terms of time of work and all of that, but flexibility in terms of people being able to hold down two jobs. A lot of the hotel demand tend to be function. I've worked in countries where people would have left hotel to work in a bank or to work in other institutions, but they will come back to the hotel during the night to work function and are paid separately and everything like that. We need to get to that flexible level. The other thing, we have so many students or graduates of primary school who are basically sitting out there waiting to be 18 to be employed. It's not everybody going on to university. It's not everybody going on to a trade school. So what we are looking at, especially under my presidency now, is that we want hotels to sign up to be that training institution that we can legally bring in 16-year-olds up to 17, going to 18, under special labor-related conditions to make sure that we can tap into this great source of employment.
That's a good note upon which to say thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Rita. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, take care, and we wish you all the best.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
That's all the time we have today for Tourism Spotlight, and that takes us to the end of Let's Travel Caribbean for this week. Join me again, same time, same place next week as we bring you more happenings and highlights on Let's Travel Caribbean. I'm Stacey Ann Delavante.